One of the most powerful tools in your style toolkit is not a piece of clothing. It's knowing how to use elements of proportion, shape, color, texture, or style to balance your outfits. If you've ever felt like an outfit almost works, but something's just off, chances are it has to do with conflict, contrast, or balance. These three concepts can transform your personal style, helping you create outfits that feel more like you, integrate new pieces with ease, and refine your personal aesthetic over time. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use these concepts to build and balance outfits from my own wardrobe, and how I troubleshoot when something isn't working. And I'm so excited that this video is sponsored by Fabrique, a collective designer brand that partners with over 300 incredible designers from around the world. Fabrique empowers independent fashion designers that come from houses like Tibi, Hermes, Dior, and The Row, and together they create limited edition pieces that combine luxury-level craftsmanship with thoughtful design and everyday wearability. I'll be featuring several Fabrique pieces throughout this video, and if you want to check them out for yourself, you can use code Alyssa for 15% off. One of the most important skills in personal style is the ability to identify tension within an outfit, and to know how to resolve it. That's where the concepts of conflict, contrast, and balance come in. These are the main concepts that I lean on every time I get dressed, especially when I'm styling something new. And though these concepts are a bit more advanced than color type, body type, and core style, they can incorporate elements of those as well. It all depends on what you want to prioritize in your own personal style. Let's define these concepts quickly. Conflict occurs when an element of an outfit, whether it's the style, shape, proportion, or visual weight, feels incompatible with another. It creates a kind of friction that doesn't serve the overall look or just doesn't feel like you. Contrast, on the other hand, is when two elements are different, but in a way that feels intentional. Think masculine mixed with feminine, structured and soft, oversized with fitted. It's tension with a purpose. Unlike conflict, contrast can actually enhance balance by creating visual interest that feels deliberate and harmonious. And balance is the end goal. It's when all of the elements, style, shape, proportion, color, and texture are working together in harmony, creating a look that feels complete, interesting, and authentic to you. These ideas are simple in theory, but the aha moment comes when you start applying them, especially when working with pieces that have a strong point of view. Each of these pieces has its own design identity. Some are sculptural, some romantic, others are structured or sporty. And with strong pieces like this, it's helpful to think about how they'll fit into your style, what kinds of visual tension they might create, and how to bring that into balance. Let's talk about balancing style words. This first outfit is definitely outside of my comfort zone. I started by pairing the Vicky puff sleeve top with the Vicky ruffle mini skirt. Together, they create a soft, airy, and distinctly feminine look. The intricate embroidery, puff sleeves, and tiered skirt bring a romantic, bohemian energy. While I appreciate the craftsmanship and detailing, and I think this is a really cute set for those with a romantic or bohemian style, the full look felt a little too feminine for me. My personal style leans more relaxed, classic, and a bit unexpected or edgy. So to bring this look closer to my style sweet spot, I swapped the top for a fitted white scoop neck t-shirt with looser sleeves. The loose sleeves balance the volume of the skirt, and the fitted body of the tee creates a sleeker silhouette. A little bit more urban, it still feels summery and feminine, but now with a cleaner, more casual vibe that feels like me. To further balance the look, I added the Dakota tweed baseball jacket in wool. This jacket is the perfect sporty contrast, preppy and tomboyish, with thoughtful details like a suede collar and oatmeal herringbone tweed. I could have pushed the look even further by adding sneakers and a pair of crew length socks, but even just adding the jacket makes the look feel more grounded and more in line with my personal style. Before we move on to the next look, I want to take a moment to highlight Fabrique. As I was styling these pieces, I kept thinking about how I appreciate the thoughtfulness behind every design. For example, the two-way pockets on the baseball jacket and the built-in shorts in the tiered miniskirt. This just speaks to the quality of each individual designer that Fabrique works with. Fabrique features a curated mix of designers from around the world, some of whom you might even recognize. I've been especially interested to try some pieces from Hannah Yu, who previously worked at Tibi and brings such a cool balance of quirk, structure, and functionality to her designs. Beyond the beautiful designs, something else that stood out to me is how easy Fabrique makes the actual shopping experience. Each product page contains measurements for every size, which makes it so much easier to find your best fit. In fact, I'll leave my current measurements and sizes in the description box below so that you can use them as a guide. If you're curious to try something for yourself, you can use my code Alyssa for 15% off your order. And I've included links to all of the pieces featured in this video in the description box down below. Thank you again to Fabrique for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. With this next look, let's talk about balancing shape and skin. Now that we've established that I love this jacket, let's lean into its more masculine energy. For the second outfit, I paired the same tweed baseball jacket with black straight leg denim and black suede pointed toe boots. It's a classic combo, definitely something I would wear, but once I put it on, it felt a little too covered up and maybe just a little bit boring. One element of balance that I always think about is shape and skin. Tibi's creative director, Amy Smilovic, calls this big slim skin. And it's the concept of ensuring that every outfit has an element that's big, an element that's slim, and an element that shows a bit of skin or openness. Or at the very least, each of these three elements should be thoughtfully considered when styling a look. This is more about creating shape than about being flattering. For example, a look that includes all big elements or all slim elements could still be a great look as long as it's intentional. Here, we've got a relaxed silhouette both on top and bottom. The pointed toe boots do add a bit of elongation and sharpness, which helps. But to bring more shape to the top half and expose just a little skin, I pushed the sleeves of the jacket up above my elbows. It's a small change, but it creates a more intentional shape and shows a little skin for a more styled feel. Another trick when you need to add a bit of skin to a look is to put your hair up. Pulling the hair back exposes your neck, which can be another point of visual relief when an outfit feels too covered or too heavy. To keep playing with contrast, I added a funky beaded bag to introduce a pop of color and texture. The white in the bag ties in with the white in the t-shirt, so it doesn't feel completely out of place, while adding focus, contrast, and visual interest. It adds an element of texture and color juxtaposed against the soft textures and neutral colors within the base look. To explore a more summery variation of this look, I swapped the boots for these minimal thong sandals from St. Agni. The open shoe adds a sense of lightness that balances the structured jacket. With this swap, I can wear the sleeves down again and even add a hat without the look feeling stuffy or overwhelmed. The visual interest created by the sandal and jacket pairing means I can go more minimal with the bag, so I chose a simple patent leather option to still add some shine and texture without stealing focus. Next, let's talk about even and odd pairings. This time, I'm styling the Leona pleated slit skirt designed by Victoria Chan. The straight cut silhouette, asymmetrical waistband, and high slit make this skirt modern and flattering. At first glance, this first outfit seems okay, but if you look closely, I'm actually breaking one of my personal style pet peeves, matching the shoes to the top. You know how odd groupings are often more visually pleasant than even ones? In this look, the white top and white shoes create a pair, and the black skirt and black bag create another pair. It feels a little too segmented, creating conflict or competition between the pairings. To resolve this, I made a few tweaks. I swapped the white pointed toe pumps for a dark gray thong sandal, removing one element of white and adding some skin to elongate the bottom half of the outfit. With the sandals added, the black bag started to feel a bit too polished and not quite right for spring or summer, so I swapped it for a bamboo one. The new bag adds a light, organic texture that ties in well with the relaxed vibe and helps bring the whole outfit together. Then, a crop jacket in a muted green color is a nice addition if I need a layer. The crop proportion is nice with the longer skirt, and I love how this jacket strikes a balance between formal and casual, mixing elements of a traditional blazer with those of a bomber jacket. The color is also earthy and muted, toning down the color contrast of the white and black base outfit. These small changes make the look feel more cohesive, seasonally appropriate, and better aligned with my personal style. Next, let's talk about dressing down. A great way to add contrast into an outfit is to take an item that would be perceived as maybe more fancy and dress it down with some casual pieces. Now, this creates good contrast when the fancier item has somewhat of a relaxed element to it and the casual item has something elevated about it. If you were to pair a very fancy piece with a very casual piece, instead it would create conflict because the items would be just too far apart. For this example, let's try to dress down this vegan leather skirt. This black skirt doesn't have to be paired with a cropped jacket. Because of its straight fit and elevated texture, it's actually a great base to dress down with something relaxed on top. In this case, I swapped the fitted U-neck tee for a boxy crew neck one, then layered over a blue striped shirt. A blue striped shirt is a staple in my wardrobe and I love having different variations. This one is particularly special because of the contrasting banker style white collar and cuffs. This white detailing ties in nicely with the white tee underneath and the white stripes on the beaded bag. To finish the look, I added a baseball cap to bring in a relaxed and tomboyish element. Altogether, the shirt's crispness and the skirt's polish are balanced by the casual layering and accessories, resulting in an outfit that feels styled but still laid back. Next, let's talk about playing with oversized proportions. I know many of you aren't into oversized styling, but I actually think these are a great case study for understanding conflict and balance. This next look is actually one of my most liked outfits on Index. If you're an Index user, I'd love for you to follow my open closet to browse my entire wardrobe, view my outfits in real time, and even save looks as inspiration. Here, I'm wearing an oversized striped shirt untucked over the leather skirt. The shirt is intentionally left untucked to keep the proportions feeling modern and maybe also a bit unexpected. This could easily veer into sloppy territory, but it's a great example of how accessories can bring cohesion and intention to a look. I styled this with a sock and sandal combo, an interesting white necklace, and a bold beaded bag. These elements add enough complexity and personality to transform what might seem like an awkward silhouette into something that feels more quirky yet intentional. When you're playing with shapes that feel unfamiliar, sometimes the best way to bring balance is actually to add more detail rather than strip things back. This outfit is proof that more is more can absolutely work when done with intention. Next, let's try the same top with a pair of baggy jeans. I love these jeans. The rivets are so high quality and have this clean, almost jewel-like finish to them that feels elevated and special. The utility style contrast stitching and curved silhouette make them feel super modern and cool, and I really love the clasp belt detail at the waist. Now this look is very oversized, so to balance it out, it definitely needs a pointed toe shoe to bring some sharpness and elongation. I went with a contrasting white shoe to add even more intentionality and visual structure. I would wear this look, but it's definitely an example of big top, big bottom, and I know it won't be for everyone. To give the look more shape, I swapped the oversized striped tee for a cropped, boxy white tee and a layered zip-up cardigan on top. To bring focus inward, I tried zipping the cardigan just at the top. I loved the way this looked in person, but for some reason it looks a little odd on camera. I also tested zipping the cardigan just in the middle, and that worked too. Plus, I think it looks a bit better on camera. It created some shape through the center while still letting the outfit feel slouchy and relaxed. To soften things further and add a touch of skin at the base of the look, I swapped the white pointed toe shoes for a strappy sandal. Then to finish, I brought in a funky padded bag to make it feel more playful and fun. This is another example of how oversized doesn't have to mean shapeless. Finally, if I wanted to style these Sam wide barrel jeans with an oversized jacket, here's how I'd do it. I started by swapping in a slim-fitting gray U-neck tee as a base layer to allow some shape to peek through beneath the jacket. Then I layered on this dark brown vintage leather jacket with a really cool feature, snaps that allow you to pin the sleeves up. I love this detail because it not only shows more skin, it also creates a unique and relaxed shape in the arms. It's another great example of how exposing a little bit of skin and adding structure helps balance out oversized silhouettes. Finally, I wanted to end with a little proportion comparison and a sizing tip when it comes to buying oversized pieces. Here, I've paired the Wendy denim jacket in a size medium with the matching Wendy jeans in a size large. The jacket is cropped but intentionally oversized. The arms are long, the shoulders are roomy, and it's clearly engineered for a boxy, sculptural shape. I have a natural body type and fairly wide shoulders, so the fact that the shoulder width on the size medium feels roomy is a strong indicator that this is meant to be oversized. I love the fit of the medium. It has kind of an effortless silhouette that I really enjoy, but I was curious how a shorter length would affect the overall proportions, so I picked up the same jacket in a size extra small for comparison. The point I want to make here is that with engineered oversized garments, it can be really helpful to consider your height rather than your usual size when selecting a fit. I'm 5'4" and I actually think the extra small or maybe a small gives me a more flattering cropped length that better complements my frame, and I also think this proportion achieves the designer's intended proportion on my frame. I really hope these concepts of conflict, contrast, and balance give you a new and useful tool for styling outfits within your own wardrobe. Don't forget to check the description box for all of the Fabrique pieces featured, and remember to use code Alyssa for 15% off your order. I'll also include a link to my Index open closet and styling services in case you'd like to work together one-on-one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in this styling video next.